All right, the Monday edition of the morning check-in, and as always, excited to connect and share my 2 cents on what's happening. And as of right now, the last 24, 48 hours has been all coin centered for the most part in reference to what the transition is taking place, the revolution or Bitcoin frenzy, whatever we're going to call it when we look back in history books. But you can't deny the numbers. The numbers continue to tick upwards, and that's the dollar price and the Bitcoin. And a lot of it has to do with the intentional leakage of information potentially of a day one executive of the BTC strategic reserve being put in place by 47 when he's in office. So we're going to talk about that and a couple other things. But once again, follow the funds of flow, man. That's where they want things to go. That's where it's going to go. And so you can be on either side of this trade. So it's up to you. But more importantly, I want to just share my 2 cents on it and share how I believe that this could be a good opportunity for those who recognize it and take advantage of it. And things will move forward. The reset is taking place. Now, what your role is or whether you're going to participate or be a victim of it, that all depends upon you, my friends. But anyway, good morning. Hope all is well. Hope everyone is off to a good day. As always, for those who are checking us out, need some thoughts, ideas, comments, definitely love to check them out and share my 2 cents on it, as well as other things. We got potential nuclear residue that's being picked up by the drones and all types of things, but I'll let other commentators focus on that. I'm just going to focus on the reset that we're in now. And Bitcoin is happy. Bitcoin is strategically positioned as a diversion tactic away from the failing fiat structure, which I've talked about more and more. But anyway, I'm not going to spend too much time on that, but just want to share with you what's happening with some of the trends on these transitions taking place. But as we move forward, it's going to be very interesting times, to say the least, because this melt up of 2025, barring some type of event, whether it be any type of catalyst that the powers that be will throw towards us. We're going to have to navigate and pivot accordingly. But it's going to be interesting times, to say the least. As always, going to share some resources that I have here, and then we'll jump into some headlines. let me see here, 10, 12 tabs, all for the most part digital asset related. And of course, I'll pick up some things as I go through my rants or whatever. But anyway, let's jump right into it. I want to just jump right into the opportunities and resources. Never know who might be new to the community. And so for those who are plugged in, if you have not, this is the best time right now for you to take a second and to hit that thumbs up button, show your support for the channel, as well as make sure you guys subscribe and make sure you always plug in so you never miss a video when they're put out. Going to try to put out more as more things unfold and just share my 2 cents on it. Try to help people make sense of all this craziness. Give you 3 different perspectives. That's all. And if you guys want to support the channel, feel free to do. As you can see here, there's a variety of ways to do that. Links in the description and all the other resources as well down there. All right, let me get my screen situated here, and we're going to make the most of this time we have together. But before I move further, let me just acknowledge the opportunity. For those who might be new, you never know. But as you can see above my head here, colonialsgroup.com/RTD, one of my partners here at RTD. And they are the ones that are helping the community take proactive steps to diversify their 60-40 split of their portfolios and get into a self-directed IRA. So as you can see here, there's a form. You get this little downloadable book here, but more importantly, you get a chance to be contacted by the professionals where you can ask questions on this type of product here and to find out if it's something good for you, because there's 2 options ultimately. You can take physical possession of gold and silver in your own personal vault and all the tax things that come with that because you're taking possession of your retirement, or you can have it put into a depository somewhere near you where you can have access to it if you need to. But once again, just another way to diversify. So if you're interested, feel free to fill out this form, or as I put up the information on the screen here, you'll get more information as to how you can actually contact them directly via the phone. And the number to do that, as it says here, 888-521-2448. Give them a call and just get your questions answered. So good opportunity for those who recognize what's happening now. All right. And also for those who want to continue to remind people of the most affordable gold on the market, that I believe is a great way of just diversifying your holdings. And it will give you an opportunity to just have an assortment beyond your physical bullion stack. You got your gold backed notes here. Then you have anything else that you're in as far as a wealth preservation mechanism. So as you guys see here, go to buygoldnotes.com and you can get any of these assortments here, all the way from the cheapest to the more expensive ones, because it's heavier in weight. because each note contains a certain amount of 24 karat gold infused within a polymer note. So just an opportunity for those who want to take advantage of it. Buygoldnotes.com. Check it out in the description. And then last year, I want to make sure I continue to remind people of the opportunity. If you have not, consider joining the Silver Team, where through Quicksilver Wealth Accelerated program, you can actually dollar cost average and have your silver automated monthly. It's a no-brainer. It comes in the mail. Don't have to second guess. And it is something that I find quite convenient because I don't have to worry about price. It comes and it just stacks. But if you guys are interested in doing so, links in the description. Go to mysilverteam.com. And as a way to get a chance to sample the product, they are offering people a chance to get a free, as it says here. Let me get myself out the way here so you can see what I see. But as you can see on the screen, here you have the opportunity to get a free 1 gram bar here. And this bar here is just basically a way to get acclimated with the situation with the program here if you guys are interested. So as you can see here on the screen, all you gotta do is pay shipping and handling, and you get a 1 gram Valcambi bar and all the information that comes with it. So once again, visit the link in the description and you can just get you some free here and then get some information about the program and see if it's something that you might want to become a part of, where you can get your own bullion store such as this and share your link with your family and friends and get into the silver business directly for yourself. Because I believe in 2025, that will be a great opportunity for a lot when the silver price actually starts to move a little bit more, in my opinion. But anyway, just something for those who are interested. So take advantage of it. Okay, so what's going on right now? Over the weekend, it looks like Jack Mallers, the Strike CEO founder, Bitcoin payment processing service, during a interview decided to either spill the beans intentionally or unintentionally, but it looks like he came out mentioning some things that triggered the markets a little bit. And on top of other things, we have a global race to secure Bitcoin because that is what has been positioned as the focal point for the globalists in collaboration with the governments. So it's a great, it works hand in hand, in my opinion. And so on the screen here, let's jump into it, man. It says, Strike CEO drops bombshell, Trump U.S. Bitcoin reserve on day one via executive order. And so before this came out, there was momentum. But as a result of this, we saw a lot of price action in Bitcoin. And it's something that you can't ignore because it is becoming the leading indicator of this artificial wealth effect boom that I will continue to mention. And so just giving, here's just more details here, but ultimately speaking, and as a result of him sharing his thoughts here, if there is a day one executive order where Bitcoin will be repositioned as a strategic reserve asset, it will put more pressure on more governments to do the same thing. Therefore, the retail FOMO, the national government FOMO, and everything else will continue to pile up, and Bitcoin will continue to increase in nominal price. And then we're going to have what I believe what will be next, a congressional hearing, because that executive order will not hold weight for the U.S. to actually begin adding it to its balance sheet or reserve asset allocation, because there's no clarity as to who will hold it, whether it be the Treasury, the Federal Reserve, because once again, as I always say, the Federal Reserve is not going anywhere. They will continue to do what they do best because our government will collaborate with them, because Donald Trump can't go against the hand that feeds him or has helped him helped him build his empire, i.e. through debt. And so he will definitely work in collaboration with them. And this crypto council that he's forming happen to be all the former bankers on Wall Street that went to the private sector in the digital asset space. So they're going to provide a clarity that will benefit them first and foremost. People who go along for the roller coaster ride will be able to reap the rewards in the short term until we get more revelation as to how this all unfolds, which at the end of the day, because we're working with ones and zeros on ledger, I don't see this having any type of longevity beyond the 2030 agenda, which at this current moment, we appear to be on course of them accomplishing the United Nations with Agenda 2030, along with the World Economic Forum's Great Reset agenda. Because if you dive into that, the public-private partnerships are still in effect. And so I don't see Donald Trump dismantling anything other than the things that he has been given permission to talk about, which is enough to captivate the MAGA crowd and keep them distracted and dumbed down and believing that America will be great again. But in the meantime, they're moving right along with their plans to reset the world, and it's happening. And Bitcoin is one of many carrots just being dangled in front of the world to accomplish that. So there's no fighting it. You can't fight it. You can't stop it. It's just the way the system is. And this is the pathway that we have to go to get us towards the final destination of a one world currency and other things that come with that. No point in crying boo-hoo. count your blessings, look for opportunities, and let the Lord do what he got to do. Okay, so let's keep it moving. And so as a result of that, we've had a lot of activity. So let me actually just check out and see where we stand at this current moment, because we reached a new all-time high as of last evening. So we're slightly down from that, but we ain't seeing nothing yet. So as you can see here on the screen, as of yesterday at about 11:12, so approximately the same time frame 24 hours ago, we were at 102,000. And then we got up to right here $106,000 at 7:42 last evening. And of course, that was when I was attempting, I wanted to do a live stream, but had internet issues or whatever. So did get a chance to do it, but here we are today. So since then, things have cooled down just slightly. But then again, here we are right now, as of this was this morning at about maybe 30 or 40 minutes ago, we got up to 106,383. So it's another record. So we're in a record setting phase. And so I wonder if this pump had anything to do with just the, now, like literally we have corporate entities, we have governments and everybody else that we may or may not know about appear to be racing to secure as much of Bitcoin as they can. And so Michael Saylor is literally betting the farm and the company and everything on it. And this is his company, not to mention his personal holdings. So MicroStrategy has acquired 15,350 BTC for 1.5 billion at $100,000 per Bitcoin. And so literally he is just adding to a stack, so that now they have a total of 439,000 BTC. That's just his company. And it's good to say, as he gets his paychecks, he's probably putting his paychecks, and that's his personal stash. So between having a majority share in his company and having his own personal stash, this guy is literally trying to take over the world when it comes to BTC. In the short term, it's going to continue to work out until it doesn't. But in the meantime, this is what they want us to hear about. So when I was actually looking into this more, I came across a lot of chit chatter. And let me actually share with you some things that caught my attention that is worth touching on. So here on the screen, let me see if I can, okay, give me a second here. Boom, go back here. All right, let me do this the correct way. Okay, so yeah, let me get this right. I want to share some audio with you, because outside of a lot of the hype, we have all the institutions now. So every institution that is a fiduciary for other people's currency via investment vehicles, whether it be mutual funds, index funds, portfolio, any type of investing funds, those CEOs and those advisors, they have to now begin answering calls and pushing their products to get people in BTC. So that's going to be more price action up, moving upward, to where it's going to be no denying what's happening here. So just want to share with you some audio here that I thought was interesting, because you have people with their price predictions, which is, who in their right mind with all this hype and hope would want to miss out on this? And so just listen to this real quick here, and then we'll move on. But just a little bit of this. I want to share this.
What's your price target for Bitcoin?
So I think in the short term, we're going to see one of two cases. The first case is we're going to have some sideways action between 110 and downwards to 80, and we'll see some chop. The second scenario, down to 80. And that will come either in the short term or in the medium term, is once we have the Bitcoin Act, which is currently under consideration, passed, where the U.S. government will be buying Bitcoin into its reserves, as well as other countries and other corporates for their treasury assets as well, we could see a 500K Bitcoin or $1 million Bitcoin. Sky is really the limit here.
And
so Charles Schwab employees out here basically giving some forecasts. So everybody and mother, especially the older population, i.e. the retirees that are literally like, okay, we want to outlive our currency, want to outlive our portfolios and have them grow exponentially if that's possible. And what better way to do that as of now, based upon everything that's being positioned in front of them, is Bitcoin. Yeah, it's just, we haven't seen nothing yet, and it's not even the end of the year. So based upon all these projections and speculation, this is just some things worth paying attention to, because this is the reset. This is how the reset, in my opinion, will be accomplished, because Bitcoin has stole the show. It's been positioned strategically to do this. And so Bitcoin is just one out of dozens of other ones that will be utilized within the financial system that they're rebuilding. Either be tokenization or the payment rails. We got everybody's in love with XRP and all types of things like that. So yeah, this is just what's happening. While all along, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how your strategy is, we get to things like this where we see gold and silver just going along for a ride, being a monetary constant, as I always say. Don't earn any yield, doesn't need to, just remains steady as a rock because it is from the earth. But then again, based upon the fiat price, it can fluctuate, but then again, it's not going to zero. And that's a mathematical certainty because the world needs these elements, platinum and palladium as well, because economies wouldn't function, technology wouldn't exist. There would be no AI, no crypto, no robotics revolution without these metals. So it's good to say that having these boys as an insurance policy against your failing currencies won't fail you. Whereas in the crypto thing, is meant to go for a roller coaster ride until the party stops. But we got silver at $30.55. We got gold at $26.53. But they're all in the green, so that's a good thing. Okay, let's keep it moving. Let's get into some other things here worth mentioning. So here is that headline: Trump confirms Bitcoin reserve plan. So once again, didn't really say it, but when he ran that the New York Stock Exchange bell mentioned that there's something very good coming for crypto. Everybody took that as saying that, oh, he's about to pump the bags. And mind you, I meant to, let me just real quick here, because somebody left a comment. I did see it. They said, Mike, what is it? What's his name? Donald Trump's World Liberty Financial, they're holding a certain amount of coins, of which I was aware of that. And let me grab it right here. Let me see here. It gives a few interesting projects that his staff, board, however it's going to be called, what they're accumulating. And so it's good to say that if the company that has his name on it is out here accumulating, let me just hear some more interesting headlines here. Give me a second here. I can sum them up briefly, but okay, let's see. Here's an interesting article here. Here's a couple interesting articles. So these are just some things I'll grab and we can highlight these. So this is what's happening. This is like more good to say his personal stash. It says Donald Trump's World Liberty Financial spends $12 million in 24 hours on 3 cryptocurrencies. This came out 6 hours ago. And so this is what his team, advisors, his kids, whatever. It says Financial has spent $45 million in altcoins since November 30th. The token sale has been 4.9 billion sold, raising roughly 74 million out of its initial 300 million target. So literally, they have a token for their project only accredited investors can purchase, and they've raised 74 million. And it's good to say, if you are in the know and you want to be a part of this crypto boom that the Trump family will basically be setting off, you have a lot of people, high net worth individuals that will get involved in this as just, okay, let me throw some crumbs at this, because it's good to say the president's not going to shoot himself in the foot. So he's going to make sure his family does well. So let me just copy and paste what he's doing. But it says Liberty Financial Decentralized Finances Project endorsed by President Donald Trump. President-elect Donald Trump has made significant cryptocurrency investments. It says the project has spent $12 million on Ethereum, Chainlink, Aave, and USDC. And so those are 4 coins there where they spent $12 million to acquire. So it's good to say that those 4 coins there, USDC is stable coin, USDC, but we know Donald Trump has made it clear that he wants a stable coin issued on behalf of the dollar. So it's good to say USDC and XRP, or the RSLD, whatever it is, will be a part of the equation. But three altcoins that will definitely be pumped in the days ahead, because they're obviously going to be used for something. So just something worth considering there and keeping it moving. But back to this article here, this reserve. So the Bitcoin reserve plans, like that is right up the banker's alley, because they have now infiltrated the crypto space 100%. And so they will benefit far greater than the actual retail investor, because they not only have large holdings, they know the teams, and they're setting the regulatory clarity, which will oversee and regulate the industry. And so it's good to say that if they wanted to really put pressure on certain projects, whether it be proof of stake or proof of work or whatever additional products come out. All they got to do is just drop a bug out to the media saying that the new crypto regulation team will be looking to yada yada and do this, and then the markets will move and their bags will get bigger. So, man, the game is rigged, people. Is rigged. But then again, in order to pull off the greatest monetary heist in human history, you have to do it in a way where the people feel as if they can win as well. Because other than that, who would go along for this digital transition if there weren't some carrots in front of them that they could reap the rewards of? Mind you, this is all denominated in a dying currency. And so, once again, everything that Trump does, he's not putting more purchasing power back into your pocket relevant to your currency or our currency. Asset price increases, creating an illusionary wealth effect, which I call the MAGA wealth effect. And that gives the idea that people are prospering, where in actuality, life in general is going to get more expensive because of all the things that must come with the currency being rebranded and the revaluation of our currency on a global scale once everything hits the fan. So these are just some things that a lot of people don't quite seem to get, but you guys get it. Okay, so beyond the crypto stuff, let's get into some actual Main Street stuff here. And so here's something that just highlights more of what I've been talking about, how it's hard to hide the lies because the numbers tell it all. So here we have from Global Markets Invest says U.S. manufacturing jobs openings are plummeting. It says job openings in the manufacturing sector to October, the lowest since the 2020 crisis. So literally, look at this graph above my head. Does this look like the economy is doing great? So this artificial boom was $5 or $6 trillion worth of QE brought into existence. Now we have the decline down, which is the tightening phase. And so how will Donald Trump turn the corner on this one and get this boy back up? The only way he can do that is by loosening monetary policy, working in conjunction with the Federal Reserve, and this artificial mega melt up in the stocks as well as crypto space. So the crypto space, the digital asset clarity that's coming will outshine stocks, but they're all going to rally. And you just got to ask yourself a question like, how high can it go and will it go before it corrects? Nothing can go on forever. It has to come to a day of reckoning. And so, as a part of what I'm looking at and what excites me about this is that I don't plan on participating in this illusionary wealth effect, referencing the leveraging the digital side of things all the way to the top, because to try to ride this thing up and out to territories we've never known is dangerous, is risky, it's literally gambling beyond gambling, because anything else, you get a certain amount of benefit from this pump. It's good to take some chips off the table, the same way the CEOs have been doing for the last 2 or 3 years and what they're doing now. They're taking chips off the table because it's good to reallocate your portfolio into other things that will be undervalued and overlooked. And that's where having strategies and things like that. So a lot of the, interviews I want to be doing the next couple of, weeks will be geared towards speaking with entrepreneurs out in the field who are actually boots on the ground doing things that could be worth looking into. So that's something that I'm doing to educate myself and hopefully you guys as well, if you guys are interested. So it's going to be good, man. It's going to be a good day to say the least. Looking forward to actually catching this. Okay, let's keep it moving. What else we got here? Let me share a couple of other things with you. And so the boom is in effect. Now, here's some things that have no real confidence in, no faith, no nothing. I just know that it's good enough to keep people distracted, so they're going to continue to do it. And so let me know if you guys have any hopes of this revealing anything that we already don't know, because we've talked about this all the time in reference to the evil and the sinister nature of our government and all the people behind the covering up of evil in the world. But it says Trump has vowed to release all documents pertaining to Jeffrey Epstein, JFK, RFK, MLK, and September 11th. And so we have been given more than enough clues to know that all those events there are government operated. The 3-letter agencies, you name them, they've been behind all this stuff from day one. So what exactly do people expect to hear? Like specific details as to the name of the agents that were a part of the programs. And so once again, more hype, more hope, but nothing of substance. What good does it know to know who killed JFK officially? That happened 60, 70 years ago. Or Martin Luther King. We know it was an inside job. September 11, we know it was our government, as well as Israel and everybody else. So we know those things, people who pay attention, rather. So what? This is the things that really lets me know that this is all part of a bigger political theater play, that they're just writing a script and people are buying into it. Because once again, he's not talking about anything that's really important to my grandkids' kids, which is our national currency, strengthening our economy based upon literally taking back our country from central bankers, because the banks run the world. So until that's dealt with, anything else is just, to me, a show. And I'm going to stick with that until it's revealed and it becomes obvious. Because like his first presidency, outside of all the things that it was disruptive, like I always will say, his greatest accomplishment was his signature in reference to, as even I put it out there on the chat, how in September of 2019, he signed an executive order for the vaccination tweaks and improvements. And then we had a health situation 6 months later. Did he know? Fauci knew? Somebody knew, but he signed his name off of it. And then the next signature was Operation Warp Speed, collaboration of Department of Justice and Department of Defense and Department of Health. Once again, never been accomplished in our country. And from that, we don't know what's going on with that. It was rolled over into Biden's administration. They changed the name of it. But once again, are they still operating? We don't know these things. Nobody cares. And then last, his signature went on the stimmy checks. The stimmy checks is what kicked off the inflation. Those are three things that, you can forget or you can try to forgive them, but they're not going nowhere because we're going to face these problems still. So that's just my 2 cents on Mr. Donald Trump. I don't fall for the hype or the hope for that matter. Anyway, keep it moving. Okay, some other things that, once again, is just more distractions, but it's entertaining. Feds to deploy state-of-the-art detection systems in New York as drone swarms have experts baffled. Okay, what? If this was such a big deal, who would just be sitting around talking about it on the news? Why wouldn't our military or somebody to just alleviate that problem other than just these UFOs only appearing in the evening? Only in the evening. What happened? So the aliens go to bed at night during the daytime, or they cloak, hide invisible shields in the daytime or something? Come on, man. People. Anyway, these are just some things that caught my attention, man. But once again, the markets will dictate the transition into the reset because they got to make sure everyone's feeling wealthier before they actually pull the rug from underneath everybody. And of course, the solution to the problem that they are creating is going to be what? Central bank digital currencies, a digital ID, and some more surveillance state. Even here in Michigan, Governor Whitmer has signed a law saying that they're putting surveillance cameras out in construction zones. Yes. Here we go. And so once again, once all these cameras are rolled out, everything is always rolled out as a way to protect and better serve the people. But then again, they never do stuff back. TSA, all that stuff that never goes away. It says speeding enforcement cameras to be added to Michigan work zones and on school buses. So on school buses and work zones. I was just aware of the work zones, but now school buses. So once these cameras go up, people, they're never going to take them down. They're only going to increase them. And not only do people have rings on their front door, which is tapped into the agencies, we got surveillance cameras already on the freeway every quarter of a mile. So the perfect digital surveillance state is being built out, but people don't seem to really mind or care. So that is what it is. But anyway, I just wanted to connect, share what's happening in the news, some of the important things we're paying attention to. The reset is underway, good people, and it's being driven and led by BTC. But anyway, we'll wait and see how things play out, but make the most of the opportunities in front of you because there's still this wealth transfer is taking place, is available to all, and hopefully you guys are taking advantage of it. But anyway, that being the case, be blessed, be safe, enjoy the rest of your day, and laugh, live, learn, and love on somebody. Shalom.